Hello, Jody here from Joli Natural Skincare, and today I'm going to make a tincture that is a sedative. So I'm going to be using St. John's wort powder and making a sedative type tincture that I can take before bed and see if it helps me sleep. So to begin, we start off with, just tared the weight with this container. We start off with the St. John's powder, and it's approximately 10 grams. So you need 200 grams of dried herbs, and in this case I've only got 10 grams. So we'll do a little bit of calculating and work out how to process this at this particular amount. So how we process it is, we say 200 grams divided by 10 equals 20. Note that that's 20. And then for 200 grams we use 1 litre of water, so that's 1,000 ml, and you divide it by the 20 that we just got there, and it equals 50. So that would tell us that we would require 50 mils of water for the 10 grams that we have here. Now this is 3 parts water and 1 part vodka, so we would then divide this by 4 and it'll be 12.5 grams of mils of vodka and whatever is left over to make up the 50 ml of water. Okay, so got my measuring device here. So 50 ml of water. What I will do first is grab a 12 ml amount of vodka and then move the rest up with the water. So the best way I think to grab the mils will be with some spoons. So this teaspoon here is 5 ml. So that's 10 ml and kind of an approximation of 12 ml there. And fill the rest to 50 ml of water. And then we're going to be storing it in this little jar. So I think the easiest way to do this will be with a funnel. So put the powder in. It's interesting too, since starting Joli, the amount of little random maths calculations I've had to learn. Yeah, maths isn't my strong suit, so it's been very funny. So we pour the liquid in then over our dried herbs. Give it a shake. Try to amalgamate that. Interesting smell, it's a very light scent. Looks kind of like a clay, sort of. So then we put the lid on this and we leave it in a cool place for 2 weeks, and then we come back and do the next step, which will be to taste it, well, to strain it and everything to get the herbs out, but then to taste it to see if it's palatable, and if not, then we turn it into a syrup. So this is stage 1 of making our sedative tincture. Hello, Jody here, and today we're moving on to the next step of our tincture. So we have a bowl here that we want to weigh. Measure the weight, 154, put it back on. We do that just in case the weight tears itself out and we need to know how much the bowl weighs. This is the tincture after 2 weeks. Okay, we're going to filter that. Paper towel and a flannel. It's kind of double the protection, and you want something that's going to catch the fine fibres because this was a powder, so it'll be quite fine, the particles. I have to say, it looks really unappetising. It looks like mud. So now we're measuring how much liquid we get volume-wise, because we want to put the exact amount of honey in as well. It smells nice actually, so it kind of looks like Australia. So I would pour the rest of this into there and squeeze the rest of it out as well, but for now I'm going to continue with this. So to tip that out, I'm going to do this. Hold that upright, let it drip. So now we want 3 grams of honey, so equal parts honey. And this jam here is made by my cousin. She has her own beehives and makes her own honey. So it's equal parts, 3 and 3. That was 16. You know what? I'm going to go with that. Because to be honest, I don't think the quantity of sugar matters, aside from the fact that it's very sweet. Because it's preservative, so it'll just help it keep longer. The more sugar, the longer it keeps. We put this in a pot. And we warm this on the stove until, what does it say? Heat on low heat to dissolve. There we go, heat on low heat to dissolve. So this is the tincture. Barely enough to get a sniff out of, really. But that was because the amount of herbs we used was very minimal. I'm not sure if I mentioned in the previous video, but this tincture is for bringing a relief to anxiety and stress, and it's sort of a sedative. So I'm going to start taking it before bed to see what happens. And you store in a well-labelled jar sedative tincture syrup, because I've turned the tincture into a syrup, St. John's wort, corked lid. How cool does that sound? It's got liquid in it. That's annoying. Let me tip that up. Corked jar. In goes the tincture, which is now a syrup because we've added the sugar, which brings me to the next point I want to make, and that is, if you're going to take this before bed, which I am, do it before you brush your teeth. So take this, then brush your teeth, wait a few minutes and then hop in bed. Because you don't want to go to bed with this sugar on your mouth. It will rot your teeth. Honey might be a preservative for the tincture, but it doesn't preserve your teeth. And there we have it. Our tincture sedative. Cork the lid. Now, as I said, I've only got a sniff, very, very small amount, take about 5 ml a night. So I'm going to give it a shot for a few days and come back and let you know of my findings. So I'm going to taste the syrup. kind of smells like chamomile. Let's see what it looks like. I wonder if it'll look muddy. Ooh. Okay, it looks like honey. Let's see. Ooh. Oh. It's got a kind of bitter, astringent flavour to it with a massive hit of sweetness, which I'm thankful because it's very tart, I would say. So I'm going to give this a shot for the next sort of 3 nights before bed and just see, does it help me sleep? And I'll leave a comment below and let you know how it goes.